Hello and welcome, finance enthusiasts, economists, and curious minds. Thank you for tuning into our channel, your ultimate guide to understanding the complexities of the economic world. We delve into the nitty-gritty of financial trends, economic indicators, and all things money. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Today, we take a deep dive into a topic that affects each one of us daily: inflation. So keep your calculators at hand as we embark on this exciting journey. Let's get started. What was the final inflation report for America in 2023, you might ask? Well, brace yourself as we're about to take off on a journey through the world of economics, where inflation rates rule supreme. See, these percentages may seem small, but they have an enormous impact on our economy, influencing everything from the cost of your morning coffee to the price tag on that dream house you've been eyeing. Our main story today is the final inflation report for America in the year 2023. It's a tale of rising prices, fluctuating rates, and the relentless pursuit of balance in an ever-changing economic landscape. We'll be breaking down the numbers, exploring what they mean, and shedding light on the economic forces that shape our daily lives. So, buckle up, hold on to your calculators, and prepare for an enlightening journey into the world of inflation. Let's delve into the numbers and see how they've moved over the past year. Before we unravel the figures, we need to understand what inflation is. Inflation, in its simplest form, is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising. It's the reason why a loaf of bread that cost a quarter in the 60s may cost more than $2 today. As inflation rises, every dollar you own buys a smaller percentage of a good or a service. The value of a dollar does not stay constant when there is inflation. If you've ever heard your parents or grandparents say, "Back in my day, this only cost," they were noting the effects of inflation. It affects everything from mortgages to the cost of our groceries, but it's an integral part of our economy. Now that we've grasped the concept of inflation, we can better comprehend the 2023 inflation report. The final inflation report for America in 2023 just came in. Let's dissect it. To wrap up 2023, US consumer prices rose by 3.4% annually. This signals a substantial stride in the efforts to control inflation, which has been at its highest in decades. This rise was measured by the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, which is an inflation gauge that monitors average price changes for commonly bought goods and services. In December, the CPI rose by 0.3% from the previous month, aligning with the expectations set by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's worth noting that these figures were higher than those seen in November, a month when plummeting gas prices resulted in a lower overall index. However, in December, gas prices remained relatively stable, increasing by just 0.2%. The main driver of the month's total increase was the rising cost of shelter, accounting for more than half of the increase across all items. Economists had predicted the annual overall inflation rate to inch up to 3.2% from the previous month's 3.1%. But despite this upswing, it's important to recognize that the annual rate of consumer-level inflation actually fell significantly from December 2022's rate of 6.5%. While the annual rate of consumer-level inflation is down considerably from December 2022's rate, it's still higher than expected. To fully grasp the report, we need to comprehend the concept of Core CPI. You see, Core CPI is a version of the Consumer Price Index that excludes categories with volatile prices, such as food and gas. It's a keen measure of underlying inflation, providing a more stable and consistent reflection of long-term price trends. By removing the noise of temporary price fluctuations, it helps policymakers and economists pinpoint the real rate of inflation. With an understanding of Core CPI, we can now appreciate the full implications of the 2023 inflation report. So, what does this all mean for the average American? Let's break it down. The rise in consumer prices by 3.4% annually means you might have noticed your dollars not stretching as far as they used to. Everyday items, from groceries to gas, got a bit pricier in 2023. This inflation impacts the cost of living, making it tougher for families to balance their budgets. But it's not all gloom and doom. The slowing of the underlying inflation, the core CPI, is a silver lining. It indicates a step back from the volatility we've seen, especially in the food and gas sectors. This can mean a bit of stability in our daily expenses. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Our economy is a complex machine, and these numbers are just a part of the story. Despite the challenges, America has made substantial progress in efforts to rein in decades-high inflation. That's the takeaway from the final inflation report for 2023. Stay tuned for more updates on the economy.